Where I come from, a lot of people put stipulations on you or what you can and can't do.
Okay.
And I think like with me seeing like the community I was in, I see and me looking at the people that was around me at 12 years old, that's when I had like this wake up. And I was like, hey, I don't want to be like these people. I've never seen throughout my whole life, I've never seen our people question a white person or a Latino person or an Asian person and say, hey, do you have a doctorate degree? Can you show me your doctorate degree? As a black woman, you will face more than the average person because you are better than. Like, I'm leaving that and I'm stamping it like it doesn't matter.
Welcome back to Conversation with Mr. French. I'm your host, Derek French. My today's guest is, she's a mother, an Army vet, an entrepreneur, a business owner, and she's very active in the community. She is the first black woman from her hometown to win the Arkansas United States in 2021. She is from Little Rock, and you might recognize her from the TV show Pop the Balloon. My today's guest is Dr. Elissie. Introduce yourself.
That was so cute. But my name is Dr. Elissie Railey, and I am originally from Louisiana, but I grew up in Arkansas.
Okay.
And like you said, I have been a business owner for approximately 7 years now. And I'm just like jacks of all trades. Like 1 minute I'm doing this, 1 minute I'm doing that. But the most important thing for me is, reaching people from different levels through nails and therapy.
Okay, so you grew up in the foster care, right, in Little Rock. So how did that shape you, the woman you are today?
Well, I think growing up in the foster care system, because I also had a village with the foster care system,
Okay.
where like everybody worked together. But I think that from the good lens of foster care, I think that it actually helped mold the person I am today. I think if I did not experience growing up in the foster care system, I wouldn't be who I am today.
So how old were you when you was in the foster care?
I got put in foster care in 1999. I was 9 years old.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you grew up in the foster care, or did you get placed? So how does that work? Did you get placed somewhere, or did you grow up was it like a school for kids your age?
Well, I kind of moved around with the circumstances, but I grew up with, I had a godmother, her name was Eleanor, and before I got placed in foster care, I was always at her house. Like, I would always go to her house. And when she got the news about them wanting to put me in foster care, she decided to take the classes so that I could be placed with her.
Okay.
So she was already like my godmother, but she stepped in and played the role of my mother during that time.
So was this in Little Rock?
No, I started actually in Mitchellville, Arkansas.
Okay.
That's where I hailed from. Like, so we moved from Louisiana, and then my family found Mitchellville, Arkansas, and that's kind of where I grew up when I was younger, my younger age.
So when did you move to Little Rock?
I moved to, it's actually North Little Rock. I moved to North Little Rock when I was 12 years old.
Okay, so what are some of the biggest obstacles you had to overcome growing up, and what kept you pushing forward?
I think some of the biggest obstacles I had growing up is just where I come from. A lot of people put stipulations on you or what you can and can't do.
Okay.
And I think like with me seeing like the community I was in, and me looking at the people that was around me at 12 years old, that's when I had like this wake up. And I was like, hey, I don't want to be like these people. So the main obstacle was was really trying to, mute people so that they can't, get into my head, because they will. If you're not a strong person, like the church, the community, the women around you will try to stop you and tell you, hey, you only limited to do this. So my obstacle is people coming against me to try to stop me. But then I knew that my biggest thing that could stop me would be me.
So your biggest critic was you?
Yeah.
So was this back in Little Rock, or did you move?
Well, like I said, growing up where I come from, like literally, like it's like it's Arkansas, period. Like it's just something about Arkansas that like you have to have a strong mind to survive Arkansas.
Is Arkansas kind of like the country? How big is the population there?
Well, Little Rock is a city, but it's still countrified. That's what I call it.
Okay.
But Mitchellville is very country. Like it's small. It's a very close knit community.
So you mentioned earlier you're from Louisiana. Do you ever go back there?
Yeah, I go there. I just recently went. But normally when I go there now, it's probably like funerals, or mostly that's the only time I really go back. Because I'm so far away now, so like I don't really go.
So do you cook like from Louisiana?
Oh, I cook. Yeah. I cook, and I cook every day too, which is crazy, right?
What's your favorite? Cooking. What did you learn? So growing up in Louisiana, how long were you there?
Well, I left Louisiana like 5, but I've been back and forth. Like my family, we would go back and forth like growing up, and I've been back and forth like throughout my adult life too. So I go back.
You speak openly about resilience. At what point in your life did you realize your story could impact others?
I knew that my story would impact others when I stood on business. So with the situation that I have going on within the community of them trying to create a criminal out of me, and I knew the background because of my experiences throughout Arkansas. I knew that I wasn't the first person, and I knew that in order for there to be change, somebody has to have a voice. So as I continue to fight and not give in and take plea deals and stuff like that, I knew that my story and what I'm going through will impact others and encourage other people to speak out, and also to not just give in to the system, because the system would try to put fear in you to stop you from actually getting the justice that you need.
So you said this is an ongoing matter now?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no.
So why do you feel like the story needs to be told?
Because of the history and the things that are still going on within this particular city. Corruption is so bad. Even though the city is predominantly African Americans, it's still controlled by by the opposite race. And it's still you do what I say, and that's it. And if you don't, then that's when you become a target. And a lot of people I've interviewed people, I did the research behind the history of things that happened prior to me, and I seen that the only reason why a lot of people do get put in the position that they tried to put me in is because they lack education, which is knowledge, and they also they lack the money, the capital to be able to obtain a lawyer. So and then a lot of people don't like to be in and out of the courtroom, so they just give in. So I just feel like my story, and it has been changing. A lot of things has been transpiring throughout me still continuing to fight. And I have so many people inboxing me, calling me, texting me, and saying, hey, look, thank you for speaking out. Thank you for standing in the fight. You give us hope. So now people are starting to do what I'm doing, and justice is starting to be served, throughout the community.
So how did your time in the military affect your mindset and discipline and leadership?
My time in the military actually helped. Like I said, helped, me become the person I am. I always been a leader. It just was something in me, and I didn't realize the strength. I mean, and I didn't realize that so many people actually do look up to me until I joined the military.
Okay.
I got to see, I got to see the world. I got to see things from different lenses. I got to understand why people do certain things and experience different cultures. And, you know, and as a leader, like, I feel like you have to go through like different channels in life in order to be able to help somebody else. Like, you can't say, hey, I'm a leader, and you just stagnant and you don't want to be uncomfortable. So I think the military really instilled discipline into me, and it made me like not just settle. Like, coming from a small town and you only see, you know, people do certain things, it's like the military just opened my mind, like, oh my God, like, I don't have to be like this. I can do more than just this. I can be whatever I want to, you know, be. Like, it just pushed me to be, you know, like, determined to finish any goal and to just say, hey, look, if he can do it, I can do it.
So how old were you when you went to the military?
Oh, when I first joined the military, I was 17.
So where did that come about? Like, one day you just woke up like, I'm going to just go to the military?
No, my foster dad actually fought in World War II. And back then when he fought, he was in a leadership position. And he used to always tell me about the military stories and, you know, and things that he went through and how he got through it. And I was just like, oh, that could be me. But he always until he was like, look, if you do go, do not do this, do not do that. Like, he really kind of pushed me to it. He was like my disciplinary person, like, before he died. He died when I was 12. So he really pushed me to want to do it. I seen like what type of person he was, and I knew that I needed a shift in my life. So I was like, you know, maybe I'll take that route and see. Yeah.
So did he play? So I'm hearing that he played a major part, and you going to the military. So when you joined, was he still alive?
No, he died on Valentine's Day in 2002.
Sorry to hear that. So were you guys close?
Yeah. We was.
So were you nervous when you enlisted?
No, I was ready.
You was ready?
Yeah, I mean, because prior to me enlisting, I would do ROTC and, you know, like different things. I was already ready, like mentally, physically, and emotionally. I was ready.
So you did your research before you joined?
Yes, because my goal was to be an officer. So that, you know, he was always telling me, if you're gonna go, you're gonna get your education, you're gonna do this and that, and he told me the good and the bad about the military when it comes to education, no education, white versus black. So I kind of was already ready.
So back then, was you girl to girl? Because now you're a grown woman. So when you was there, did you complain when they put you through? They had y'all go through training?
Yeah.
So were you like, I don't know? Did you have second thoughts when you got there?
You know, I talk a lot of crap. I was the one that my drill sergeants, oh my God, I think I gave them hell. Like, because like, you know, in the military, like when you go through your phases, they're trying to break you. They're trying to do all these different things, but they could not get to me. Like, it didn't matter. Like, no matter what they did, I'm gonna be number one. Like, everything I did, I wanted to be the best at it. So I never wanted to be that person where they say, oh, well, I remember you did. No, because I'm coming in here and I'm standing on business, whatever I do.
So did you play any sports growing up?
Yeah, I play sports.
So were you like that, determined, like, to be number one in sports too?
Yeah, I was always competitive. Like, I'm a crap talker. So like, yeah, you gonna have to come because I'm that girl.
What sport did you play?
I did just about everything. I did basketball. Cheerleading is a sport, so don't say it's not. I did cheerleading. I did gymnastics. Okay. I did softball. I ran track. I think that's about it. I tried lacrosse, you know, when I went to school in Georgia, but no, I only wanted to do that because they could fight. But I was like, no, I don't got time. But yeah, I play just about every sport.
So which one was your favorite?
Basketball was my favorite. Yeah.
So what inspired you to become a Christian counselor and help other women healing in their life?
Well, so, you know, I told you I grew up in foster care with my godmother, Eleanor Holland. So I also have an aunt, which I call my mom. Her name is Dr. Pauline Glenn Plummer now. And so... Is
this your biological aunt?
This is my biological aunt. She's my grandmother's baby sister, but she's been in my life all my life. Like, she is... If you hear me call somebody like mom, they're like, oh, you got so many moms. Like that, I call her mom, but she's my biological aunt.
Okay.
So she is like that. She is a she's into the she preaches, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Actually took me out of foster care. People don't know that she took me out of foster care when I was um, in high school. And I moved to Georgia. That's my first time getting on an airplane. And she instilled into me like, you know, like character, who I was, and it's just a lot of things she did, and I kind of got into it. I started, you know, I thought I was a preacher. Well, now I am an ordained minister, which is crazy, but I don't, you know, I don't practice like I should. But what made me really want to be a Christian counselor, because I think in psychology, like with me coming from where I come from, my roots, my culture,
Mm-hmm.
background of, um, you know, growing up in the church, I feel like a lot of people get away from the word. Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of times when we get put in certain situations, we into this worldly thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
everything is around what the world say, social media, you know.
So do you feel like people will only go to God when their life is not going right? They're not praising them through the good and bad. It's just only at the bad time.
A lot of times it is like that. But I really think that the main reason why I wanted to do the Christian work is because that was my calling, and it's still my calling.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I get away from it. Like I literally have dreams, like, and I still go try to get away from it. But like lately, I'm like, dang, like what is it? Like, but I kept trying to get away from it. But I know like my calling is to be able to, you know, develop relationships with people through utilizing the word,
Mm-hmm.
because in psychology a lot of people, and it's just me being honest, they go to school, and when they go to school they just go and read the book, and they try to tell people, oh, this is what the book says, or this is what, you know, this is how I feel. But me, with my experiences and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, not only by me applying the word, I also can apply experience,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I reach people. Like, and that's how I connect more with people. And I feel like the word is, when you refer us back to the word,
Mm-hmm.
your life change. It's just like when you go back to the worldly side, it's more like, you know what I'm saying, like nothing is going right. But even though I might cuss, even though I might get into it with people, even
Mm-hmm.
might whatever, I still go back to the word. I still go back to what I was taught.
Because the Bible said no one is perfect but Him.
Yeah.
So you got to describe you. People don't understand. Christian means Christ-like.
Mm-hmm.
So every day you have to strive to be like Him, because no one is perfect.
Right.
So I understand when you say people fall short.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that totally. So the woman who took you in, was she into church as well?
Yes, we went to church every time the doors of the church open. We there. Like it doesn't matter. I mean, I was just so like, I mean, you know, we was in choir, everything. Like it's, you have to,
Mm-hmm.
like that. Hey, Sunday school. I'm like, oh my God. And don't let it be Easter. We're going to every service. I'm like, oh, and then I have to serve, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So she really like instilled that into me too. Like that's me. The real me is the word. Like
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, like that's me. And we got to get out of that. Oh, you cannot be the person that, you know, follow Christ if you do X, Y, and Z. That's not how it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's either in you or it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I reach people.
Yeah. So um, same here. I grew up in the church with my grandmother. It's like like I said, I was raised with my grandmother, but she was like, if you come over here, you got to go to church. And they went to church 6 days a week.
Yeah, you can't come
6
over.
days a
Like
week.
it was like mandatory, but now I'm like, you look at the young. I'm like, you don't make them go to church. I mean, I'm like, what? But no, it was mandatory. But I'm glad that I did. You know, everything that you do in life, from college to church to whatever, it really, it develops who you are. You know, and so that's.
So after earning a doctorate degree, facing so many challenges, how do you feel about that?
I feel like it's the 1800s.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean?
We get congratulated as African Americans. We get congratulated for stupidity,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't get congratulated for having a doctorate degree. And it's more like, and I've seen so many things that's transpiring in the world with, you know, certain individuals, like, I mean, a lot, not just one, but certain individuals, like, do you have a doctorate? Do you got? And so, like, getting a doctorate degree was like, it was just a great experience for me. Like, I knew that I could do it because I put my mind to it. But then when you see the backlash, like, do you have a doctorate? Oh, what makes you better than us? And I've never seen, throughout my whole life, I've never seen our people question a white person or a Latino person or an Asian person and say, hey, do you have a doctorate degree? Can you show me your doctorate degree?
So you saying our people is our biggest critics?
Yes.
Our people don't show us grace.
Yes. When it comes to our people, we're always questioned. When it comes to the opposite race, they don't ever question me. They say, hey, Dr. Railey. When it comes to our people, I'm not going to call you that. I'm going to call you what I want to call you. And I think that goes back to, back to slavery time, like when you had the house niggas versus the field niggas, like, and it's still like that. It's just we're just in a different time. And so, like, I can't be, because of my age, a lot of times because of my age, because of where I come from, they want to keep me in a box, and I don't believe that. But then also, we don't understand the difference from a PhD and an MD. Those are two different things.
So break it down for us. Your degree, what do you have?
So I have a degree in psychology. Emphasis is pastoral because I am a Christian counselor. I'm actually in school right now. I'm getting ready to graduate with my clinical side, so I'll be a clinical psychologist. But my degree focuses on counseling, but also by utilizing the word. But I don't have to do that, but that's my thing. Like, when I do counsel people, my focus is making sure that I let them know what the word says and bring them back into the word. And a lot of times you can't do that because of different religions and cultures and stuff like that. But I learned, what made me really, really, really wake up is when I was in Afghanistan.
Okay.
And I was talking to this girl, and she asked me, can you fall in love with a man that you never met? And in my mind, I'm thinking, like,
you thinking
I
about,
said, hold on, I can't answer. Let me go.
Yeah.
Let me give me some time, and then I'll answer it. Right? Just give me some time. And I really didn't know what she was talking about.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, I was the girl that carried the Bible around.
So you not knowing she talking about Jesus.
Yeah, I didn't know who she. I'm like, and I said, let me think about it. And I guess I took too long. And she was like, I'm asking you this because I always brought people back to the word. When I was in Afghanistan, I'm like, you got to understand, this is a war zone. I'm praying for people. Like, this is something. This is serious. This is not like the movies. This is real life. Of course I'm scared, but I'm not. I still have to put on that, that shell. But she was like, can you fall in love with a man you never met? And I'm like, give me some time. But later on, she ended up explaining to me. She said, God. Yeah. And that's when I had to break it down to, like, yes, you can. And I had to break it down to her. It's just a lot to go through. But yeah, she was like, well, you know what? I'm asking this because I was never introduced to that, because her culture was based off of just being good people. She wasn't never introduced to the word, and I introduced her to the word, and like, she really like opened up to me, and she was like, wow, I wish I would have learned this at a young age, and it kind of changed her life. So it's, yeah.
So do you force Christ on people, or you let them choose?
No, I don't force anything. A lot of times when, like, I just have this aura about myself. Like, even though I said, like, people see the bad and the ugly or the lies that are told about me, like, when people are around me in my presence, it's like I have this aura about myself. Like, it just draws them in, and it just leads to that. When I first started my nail business in Arkansas, that goes back to people saying you can't do this, can't do that, because African Americans don't own nail salons in Arkansas. That's what
your people putting you in a box, right?
Yes, but I did it. People tell me I could never do it. I did it. I employed at least 25 people.
I had read somewhere that you were CEO in Jacksonville as well.
Yeah, that's in Jacksonville, Arkansas. My business was in Jacksonville. Okay. My second business was in Jacksonville. And so, yeah, like, people used to come from different places and literally would sit in my chair and just like start crying because I'm like, what is going on? But I just knew. And it was like your story, like from foster care, like your resilience. I seen how you know, the vice president of this, you do this, you do that. Like, and I was so young. I was much younger. I was less than 30 years old then. So like they would just come and sit down and I just started, I'm like this is my calling. And I said later on, I'm going to do a business in ad therapy, but I have to go back to school. I was already in school during that time getting my bachelor's in business. So I do have a bachelor's in business. And I kept running. Like I kept running from like, and I still do a little bit now because sometimes I'm like, but then I have to remember that we're not perfect. But there's somebody, I'm still reaching people and not knowing that I'm reaching people. And how I know that I'm reaching people is through the direct messages, the phone calls, the messages, and the support that I have.
So do you say you are customer service?
Oh, customer service is number one for me in everything that I do.
So you became the first black woman from your hometown to win Mrs. Arkansas United States in 2021. What emotions did you feel at that moment?
I had an experience before that. And I had an experience when I ran for Miss Arkansas America system. I knew I was one of the best, the most educated, the most, I just knew that I should have won, like more than one time before that. I tried it twice. And the second time that I lost, she didn't place me. And she also put someone in the category to give them the title other than giving it to me. But in Arkansas, you don't see African Americans becoming Mrs. Arkansas.
So do you feel like you were cheated?
Arkansas. I know I was. Okay. It was just like a lot of things that happened. I even had words with the director, stuff like that. And she could not tell me why. Because there's a point system on everything that you do. But you can't tell me that someone that can barely talk, that cannot even speak, can't get their words out, interview was better than mine. You can't tell me that this person that does not have the credentials that I have and the community service that I put in throughout my state, that they are a better fit than me. So you can't, if you can't like break it down so I can know what to do better the next time, then let me know right there that this is not for me. So becoming Miss Arkansas United States, that is a different system. A lot of people didn't know that I did the United States. I competed for the United States pageant in 2014 when I was in Hawaii. I was Miss North Shore of Hawaii, United States, 2014. So I had an incident with that too. So, but I was like,
what box did they put you in? Because it sounded like you accomplished a lot of things.
What the box is it doesn't matter. We're not good enough. The color of your skin is not what we want. You don't have blonde hair and blue eyes. You're not the face. We don't want you to be the face for this organization. But you can try another one. That's basically what I got out of it. But, just being Miss North Shore United States, I competed. I had some competition. This was in Hawaii. Even though some things happened with that, keeping the girl local, that was their thing back then. I don't know about now. But when I became it, I knew now that I can change the mindset of a lot of people. There are little girls that look up to me. Also, during the time, I was a CASA worker for Pulaski and Perry County. And then I also was the vice president of Little Rock Angels, in which all of those things catered around foster children and children in the foster care system. So my platform was empowering foster youth. That's basically allowing them to know that it doesn't matter that you grew up in a system, even though statistics says 80% of us will end up in jail or dead after the system, which is, I feel it's true because a lot of people I went into the system with are either have deceased or they are incarcerated. So I wanted to give them a different light. And when I speak to these children and when they're aging out or, giving them resources and then not just talking to them. See, what I learned about foster children and people that go through the system is you can't just tell them. You have to show them. And this generation now is show me. Don't tell me, show me. So I was able to be the light for, other girls that look like me. My only downfall of that really hurt me is from my community. When I got placed in a newspaper in my community, Dumas, Mitchellville is kind of the same area. she liar, she's delusional, and oh, she's making up things. Well, Arkansas is not big on the pageant thing. It's only one system, two systems in Arkansas. They have the big pageants. That's America's system for the married women, and also the college miss. Them the only two. Everything else you have to, you have to submit. You have to have credentials, and you have to be selected based off of, everything that you do: community service, education. Just the whole ordeal of what a queen is. Like you have to meet those requirements in Arkansas, and I did. So I felt good because I knew I met the requirements. I finally got something that I earned. I feel like a pageant is not something that you earn, because like in the America system, I won People's Choice 2 years in a row. I won most sold tickets. I had the most support. I won most sold ads 1 year. Like I literally brought so much money to the organization, but they did not care about that. They just cared about me not being the white face.
So is representative important, especially for the young black women growing up in a small town?
Representation?
Yeah.
Is it important?
Yeah.
For me, it is. Like, I mean, for everybody, it should be.
Especially in the pageant.
Yes, it's important. So like what you represent, it matters. Because they judge you off everything. And then when you're a black woman, like it's like you have to be even, you have to be better than the next girl. Because if I wasn't a black woman, like I could get away with a little bit more, or they'll shield things or cover me, protect me. But as a black woman, we don't get that. And it's really like what really like hurt my heart is to see a black woman doing something they said that we could not do, and for my community to get together and try to destroy a person. And that was the only like hurtful thing that I could say, that as a black woman being a representation of my community, why?
Yeah. So your platform focuses on youth empowerment and united across races. Why is that so important to you?
Because we don't have, I talk to a lot of children and I ask them who your role model, and they don't have role models. In my community, my role models was my godmother and my aunt, and like people in my family. But I've noticed a lot of children, especially little black girls, they don't have role models. And you should see, like when I did different events and spoke, and they see, oh my God, like if somebody look like me, like how their eyes light up. See, we don't, like, as a black community as a whole, we don't look at it like that. We looking at it like, oh, she thinks she better than us. What makes you better? Oh, you're doing too much. But in those little kids' eyes, it's, oh, I can be there too.
Just hearing it come from you sound like you're really passionate about this.
Yeah, it's to me like being a role model for not just children. I'm a role model for women my age, older women. I came to realize that, like as I've been like, in these different positions and, seeing things from different lenses, I started to notice that where I come from, there's a lot of women that instead of them like saying, oh, I really want to talk to you, I want to know this, they would try to destroy you. But then there are some women that were like, oh my God, like you are my role model. You did it. You fought. You won. You didn't give up. Like and then the education, like, and then you're educated. Like, I didn't even know that. I'm learning from you. I watch you every day just to learn something from you, no matter how you deliver it. And sometimes people don't know why I deliver things the way I do. I can deliver things professionally, and then I can deliver it on their level. And I do it for a reason, because sometimes if I speak in a way that, and I could be speaking English, but to them it's foreign. They don't understand it, and they don't get the message. But then when I speak on their level, they understand what I'm saying. So I do that for a reason.
So basically, it's not what you say, it's how you say it?
Yeah. Sometimes it is. Like, and it's how, like, it depends on the audience. And I tell people all the time, like, my Facebook is messy. Everybody knows. But you have to have a balance. You have to, like me, I can be professional, and what they're saying, I can be ratchet. Like, those are two, that's, but it's just levels to it. And it just depends on who your audience is.
So you built multiple careers. And so how do you balance wearing so many hats?
patience, time management, and support.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of patience. Like, and also the one reason why I did a lot of things that I did is because, I knew I was going to go into psychology, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in order for me to be the best person I am, I have to be able to be in those positions. Like, I worked at the prison. Who wants to work at a prison? I did it for experience. The experience that where I come from, we don't get a lot of experiences because, black people, we just don't get that. So in order for me to get to be the person I am and how to reach people, I have to be in uncomfortable positions, working at the prison, working in law enforcement, just working these jobs I know doggone well that I'm not going to make a career out of. I just need the experience so that I can identify, like, the root of certain problems. And that's when I learned that a lot of us cannot read. We can't write. We don't understand certain things. So that's why sometimes when I do speak, I speak so people can understand what I'm saying.
Because you was on the front line, so you understand what you're saying. It's just not BS. You're not capping. You was actually, like you said, a woman in prison. So I'm pretty sure you're building somewhat relationship with the women that are in there.
Well, I worked with women and men.
Okay.
So I was in boot camp. I was a drill instructor. So I worked with women and men during that time. And then I went to another facility, Tucker, and I worked with men. And like, I was always in a barrack called 10 barrack, and it's like it's a program barrack, and it's like 180 to 1. And so like, it's open base. So in there, I learned a lot. I reached a lot of people. Actually, now that we're talking about, I do have this one inmate, and he is doing amazing. I gotta say, his name is Maurice Ford. He was always that person in there, like, writing and asking me questions, and I would give him like things that he need, and he's producing books. He's traveling the world, and and he identified like what was his problem. So I think he was my my yes person, because to see like what impact I had on him and other people, it made me realize that I'm stronger than I'm stronger than I really think I am.
So as a cosmetology instructor, how did that make you? I mean, what made you go into that field?
Well, what made me go into that field I had another foster mom.
Okay.
Her name was Kathy Jackson. That's when I told you I went to North Little Rock. I ended up being with her. So from 12 to 17, like, in and out. So we had like a 6-bedroom, 4-bedroom house, 6-bedroom, 4-bath house. And on our basement floor, we also had a salon in our house. And she was a cosmetologist. She did nails. And she also did hair. So I used to watch her all the time. I used to say, I'm not going to do this and that. But I used to see, like, the impact she had on women, and how she was, like, as a person. And I'm like, and then she started me. I started, like, braiding the people's hair that come there. Like, I started working with her, started learning how to be an entrepreneur. Okay. And I was like, as I got older, I'm like, because I know what it does to people when you're doing their hair, and how I started to see how people come out to you. You become their counselor. That's kind of what made me. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do nails. That's something that I'm comfortable with, and I know, like, a lot of people like us don't do them in Arkansas. And I said, I'm gonna go farther. Like, once I graduated with my regular, I wanted to be an instructor, because I seen that, there's not a lot of good instructors. And also, again, that's my psychology side. Like, I'm reaching these students on different levels. So I became an instructor. I went back to school and became an instructor, and I met a lot of students that was just like me, or a lot of students that I can pour into, and they actually,
So what advice would you give them?
To never give up. In life, everything is a challenge. I mean, you're gonna go through so much in life, but in order for you to get where you need to go, it's you. You are the person that has to make that decision. I'm going to do this and that. No one can stop you. And that's coming from my experience, from them trying to send me to prison 2 times, lying on me, trying to, make my character what it's not. And I tell people all the time, like, I got through a lot that most people would have probably committed suicide. Most people probably would have, just gave in, and I would have, and been in prison. So just with my story alone, I tell people, don't give up. Keep moving. Like, your time is coming. But it's, in order for you to get there, you have to go through something. I don't feel like nobody in life get in the positions that they're in without going through something.
So with you being a doctor, how do you deal with mental health?
Mental health. So, and when I first got in foster care,
Mm-hmm.
I had to go to therapy. So I went to therapy from age 9 to 19.
Mm-hmm.
And I still go to therapy. As a veteran, we have that access. When you're a veteran, you also can still go to mental health. So how I'll get through it is by talking about it. If you see me talking about something that's bothering me, and I'm talking about it and talking about it and talking about it, like, it's because that's me letting it go.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally have to talk things out, or I find somebody, even if I'll find a stranger and just talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Communication, that's how I get it out. I might cuss you out, I might do whatever, but I get through it through that and through therapy, talking it out in therapy. Even if you go to therapy, you still have your own personal problems.
So growing up, when I was growing up, mental health was laughed upon. Like if you tell someone you had those type of things, they'll think you crazy. But nowadays, nowadays they encourage you to go see someone.
Yeah, but I noticed that too, especially with our black men. Like,
Mhm.
they feel like they don't need therapy. I don't have to go to therapy. But if you really think about it, without going to a person with a doctorate degree, you're in some form. You are still going to therapy. I mean, you are having therapy sessions. Whether you're talking to your preacher, whether you're talking to your girlfriend or mother or whatever, that's still a form of therapy. But it's frowned upon when you go see, like they say, the white man. Like, why is that frowned upon? We need therapy.
So I can't speak for all men, but I can speak for me. Um, we don't open up to our partners because women might look at us soft. You know, women like we get in an argument, they want to throw what happened to you in the past in your face. So it's just like I'd rather protect myself versus me feeling like, dang, you betrayed me by telling you how I was feeling or what I was going through.
Well, I experienced it. Like, I was married to someone that actually had a lot of mental health issues, and throughout the whole marriage.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned, like, that was my experience too, my hands-on experience, actually being married to someone that suffered from things that we don't know of, like, or we don't know how to identify. But that actually helped me too, and it made me realize that too. Like, I'll see, like, in a relationship how, after so long they don't want to, communicate with their spouse, and sometimes it's because other people make them feel more safer.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy if you're in a relationship, right? But but other people don't understand you. Like, I tell people all the time, like, well, I know him. No, you don't know someone until you live with them.
Mm-hmm.
Once you live with them and you can see their everyday, them, to you might think they're the perfect person. But me, I'm at home holding this person because they're fighting in their sleep, or they doing all these different things that you don't get to see.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because you don't know the levels of mental health. Like, it can, yeah, it can affect you in so many ways, from sleep patterns, from eating, from depression. Like, it's just so many things, memory loss.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so many things that you can experience with mental health, and you won't even know that you're experiencing it until you actually sit down with a professional and they can tell you what it is. But me right now, I cannot diagnose anybody. But after December of this year, I will be able to. But I cannot diagnose you because I'm not licensed. And I like to say that because some people, you have a doctorate, or you didn't know. As a Christian counselor, I can have one-on-one with you. I'm also an ordained minister because I can speak to you on the levels with utilizing what I can.
So you just can't diagnose someone.
I can't diagnose you because I'm not clinical.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot say, I mean, I know what you probably going through.
But you legally just can't.
Legally, if I'm not licensed, I cannot. But like I said, after December, and I could have before, but I've been going through a lot of legal battles. So that's another thing. When you're going with these professional titles and stuff like that, you also have to have a good record. So only reason why I'm really not licensed is because I was fighting, those lies, and so, but it's over with now. And now I know sometimes it is about who you know. It's not what you know.
So why is giving back to the community so important to you?
Because I know what it feels like I know what it feels like not to have things. And Also, I feel like, and like I said, with my experience, I learned that a lot of people do not know how to read. A lot of people do not know how to write. A lot of people can't comprehend. A lot of people don't have the resources to help them out. So I literally do, like, other than like counseling, like when it comes to the legal world, I also can help with that because I do have experience in that, and I do help out a lot of people. I've helped people fight cases. I help, a lot of things, but I was an aspiring lawyer, but because of things that have transpired throughout my life, I wasn't able to do that.
So where did that come about? Who inspired you to become a lawyer?
Experience. Psychology and law, to me, it kind of like comes together, because me learning, like, why people do the things that they do, or actually being around people that have these mental health problems and stuff like that. Like, I learned like that side. Now I can understand criminals. Now it helped me be able to, I feel like lawyers should experience all of that. I don't think you should just go to school and say and pass a bar and you just a good lawyer. I feel like you have to get boots on the ground. Like, you have to be in that world to understand it, because just behind a book, you don't understand why these people doing what they're doing. You don't understand that these people are going through, because they, instead of locking them up, they really need to be in a psych ward. They need some mental help.
So the thing you said, you went over to Afghanistan, right? So the stuff you seen over here, did that impact you to get into lawsuit?
Get into law, like being in
A
like
lawyer, become a lawyer?
No, what inspired me is experience, reading cases, seeing how people in my community where I'm from, like how they don't get the same opportunities, and then me being behind the badge. When I say being behind the badge, actually being an officer and being able to get into things and being able to see things, and I'm like, this is not right. But at some point, like, I literally quit like working in that field, because I seen the corruption. I seen how we are, frowned upon because we lack the knowledge.
So how many years did you do as a police officer?
In law enforcement period, like 4 years.
Within those 4 years, were you happy to go? Like, you feel like you were going to change people's life in those 4 years as an officer?
Oh yeah, I can tell you stories all day on how I changed people's lives behind that badge. Just being a person that cared, because during the time that I was in law enforcement, I did lose like a couple friends, but if I lost you, you wasn't my friend, because during that time you had the George Floyd thing. You had a lot of things going on during this particular time, and so I was able to change the narrative of what a police officer was.
So you was an officer around that time with George Floyd?
Yes, I was.
Where at?
I think I was in Gould, Arkansas. In Gould, it's a small town called Gould, and then I went back to Pulaski County as a deputy.
And this is all in Arkansas?
Yes.
So you spent most of your adult life in Arkansas?
No, around. I've been everywhere. So yeah.
So do you have any? You mentioned you was in the foster care. Did you have any siblings?
I got a lot of siblings.
Were they placed in the foster care as well?
No, I was the only one, and that's another story.
I'm sorry to hear that. So are you close with them now?
Well, I'm the oldest on one side and kind of middle on the other side. So like, my siblings, they're younger than me, but we can call and talk about anything. Like, it's no bad blood, but it's just like we don't have, like, you know what I'm saying, we didn't grow up together, but I know them. Like, we knew each other. Like, I never skipped a beat of like not knowing who they are, because like I said, my godmother, she only took the position because she seen what was going on, and like I said, a lot of people didn't know I was in foster care because how I was taken care of. They didn't know. Like, even at school, North Little Rock, everybody thought, oh, some people thought I was spoon fed. Like, I mean, I kind of was, like, but I still had my experience. Like, I'm still not at home. Like, my village took care of me, like, all the way through college. Like, my village took care of me.
Was there a time where you feel like why you was placed here? Did you feel unloved?
Never. I was actually the favorite child with everybody, from the church, from my grandparents, I always was the favorite child. Like, I got away with murder. I was the one. Yeah, I got away with everything. But I even my school teachers, even if I act up in school, like anytime, like everybody always supported me. And now like a lot of them starting to reach out to me. A lot of people didn't know who I was 'cause my name. Like I have a nickname, so a lot of people didn't know like that's, oh my God, like they're reaching out to me. They was like, I just knew you had potential. Like they knew I was that kid.
So,
Yeah.
what's the nickname?
My nickname is Tweety.
Okay.
No, Tweety Bird, Tweety. Yeah.
Okay. After the cartoon character. Right?
Yes, because I was a yellow baby with a big head. Yeah.
So, when people hear the name, what do you think they're going to say?
When they hear what name?
Your name.
When they hear Elissie.
Elissie. Dr. Elissie.
Resilient.
Mm-hmm.
And if we want to go on our side, that bitch. Like, because like you, like my story is, I can see it going farther than what it is when justice is served.
So what legacy do you want to leave behind for your daughters, right?
Yeah, the legacy I want to leave for my daughters, I just want my daughters to know, like, you know, like, mama did it, I can do it. Nobody can be in my way. My oldest daughter is 15.
Okay.
She's actually a freshman in college now. Can you believe that? But she was able to experience. And, you know, one thing I do with my daughters is I have therapy sessions. I ask them how they're doing, how they feel. How can I do something different? How am I as a mother? Like, we have those talks, like, and they open up to me. And my daughter actually got to experience me going through the battles I did with the court. She actually got to see things from different, and she's very intelligent. And she just sits back, she's quiet, but she's taking in like what I went through. So I want to instill into them that it doesn't matter what you go through. You know what I'm saying? Like, God is going to always see you through. As long as you stay true to who you are, it doesn't matter. Because as a black woman, you will face more than the average person because you are better than. So that I want to leave that, like, I'm leaving that and I'm stamping that, like, it doesn't matter.
So what do you have going on now?
So now I'm still fighting cases.
Okay.
I'm also in school full time. I'm a full-time student. I'm a full-time mom. I love it. Like, I think, like, this is my first time. Like, I mean, I still do my thing with the nails and therapy, but it's not like that, like, you know, how it could be, because I'm fighting. And I'm going to continue fighting until I get justice. But I'm also embracing being at home I love it. I get to cook every day. I'm not stressed. I'm not stressed like in my everyday life, but the situation does put, you know, emotional, you know, stress on me. Like sometimes because I'm like, dang, I could be doing this, but I got to focus on this. Like instead of me traveling and doing this and that, I have to focus on this because I'm doing this myself. Okay. You know, I have to spend this amount of hours a day reading the law, studying, like working on my own stuff because, you know, I feel like I can't trust someone else to fight for my life the way I can.
So if people want to find you, where can they reach you at?
Well, you can reach me on all social media platforms under Dr. Elissie Railey. That's Instagram, that's TikTok, that's Facebook, and it's also on YouTube.
So what about your business?
So also I have a booking app. It's on it's www.docnailtherapy.bookski.com. That's how they can book me, or they can DM me on social media. Social media platforms.
What hours do you work?
It's open. Like normally 9, and I try to stop at 7, but it just depends on like, you know, like my schedule.
Well, there you have it, folks. Once again, I want to thank you for stopping by
and
having this conversation with me. I really enjoyed it, and I wish you the best of luck on many, many success.
No problem. It's coming. I just got to be patient.
Hey, remember, Rome wasn't built in one day.
All right.
Well, thank you once again.